The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases, and his mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Lamentations 3:22 and 23.
Body on tete, booty on tete. Wake up and flee. Party on 999.
Hello, love. Just kidding, I'm not British. Welcome back to my channel. I don't know what that was, but if you're watching this, you have watched part 1 already where I dyed my hair blonde, and you've watched part 2 and you've customized your frontal to perfection, baby. Now you're finally ready for part 3, putting the wig together. Which means we're almost to part 4 where we can slay and put it on and get it popping. Yes. The hair I'm using is from Uni's Hair on AliExpress. I have a 28, 26, 24, 22, 20 Brazilian body wave bundles and a 16-inch frontal. So let's get started or whatever. First, we're gonna need this wig cap. This is the only one that I use. Take a screenshot. And then of course your frontal, which is the first part we're gonna be applying to the wig. Now look, I'm about to wild out real quick. We bringing back OG Sophiology because she's gonna teach us today. I wanted to show you what it's actually like to make a frontal in real life. So red hair Sophiology is a teacher and blonde hair Sophiology is me and you. Trust me, you're gonna like this. Let's throw it back. Make sure you have multiple needles and plenty of thread. Lastly, you'll need this white makeup pencil and then some clamps to just hold the hair in control. But yeah, I'm gonna just put on the cap and make sure those 2 lines are aligned in the front. So I'm gonna put the hair behind my ear where my sideburns to be, and then using that. Then I'm gonna take the frontal and position it to where I want it to be on my head. Right? So I'm double tracking, and when I get to the ends, y'all never seen the 2 teapot notes. So how is this helping me last? Well, if I'm swinging 4 bundles into now, no matter how big or small your head is, a frontal is meant to fit everyone. So I'm gonna put the hair behind my ear where I want my sideburns to be. And then using that white makeup pencil, I'm going to make a marking on the cap where my ear and the frontal meet. I did that to both sides, and you wanna make sure they meet up. If I have 3 bundles, maybe 1.5 to 2 But yeah, if you're a wig maker, you wig makers or newly started wig makers, they always make their hair like uneven. So to make sure you're proportioning your hair and then take out the wigs as you sew. This is how the wig looks after I've sewn in 1 bundle. If you want to try on the wig and see how far you've come, feel free to do that. Then I'm gonna form a little ponytail with the frontal on my head, and I'm gonna mark where, the frontal has its end in the middle of my head, so I can know where to sew it in. With the first bundle, we went in a smiley face motion, but as you go on with that second bundle, you're going to 1 bundle that you have. You want it to be like going straight across the wig first. Now you're going to put the cap on the mannequin and you're going to align those white dots together. Then you're going to take a T-pin and you're going to pin those white lines down everywhere. And at this point, the frontal should lie down flat. It usually works out perfectly. I used about 5 pins all around the head. Now the front is gonna look weird, okay? It's supposed to look weird. It should not be flat at all. It's gonna have this little weird, flappy flap in the front, and that's okay. Once you've got all that engineering, mathematics, proportioning done. The hard part is over and you're ready to start sewing. I'm basically just sewing the frontal down and removing the pins as I go. Okay, guys, so current Sophiology is back. I hope OG Sophiology helped you. She always helps me. Yes, I watch my own videos to make my new videos, which is crazy. But at this point, you don't need OG Sophiology anymore once you got the frontal on. Now you can free ball, freestyle, and just do you. My head is 22 inches and this styrofoam head is 21. So I need the wig to be bigger. That's why I'm stretching it out and using pins to hold it in place so that when I sew on the bundles, the wig can stay stretched out. I'm gonna take my argan oil from Morocco and apply it to the hair. I'm also gonna style the hair as I sew because nobody has time to put the wig together, then open it up again and start styling. I just want the wig to be done by the time I'm done sewing. When making my wigs, I always start off with the longest bundle. I take 2 tracks at a time and sew them at the same time. This is called double wefting. I do this because it's quicker than single tracking, and I don't like spending all day making a wig, so I'm gonna sew it along the perimeter of the wig. As I'm sewing it, I'm making sure that I'm not sewing onto the elastic of the cap because you want the cap to stay stretchy. So I'm not putting the needle all the way through the cap. I'm just putting it through the first layer surface of the cap, and you'll be able to feel it once you get the cap. I also don't do the flip over method with my wigs because I feel like I don't have time. I don't mind cutting my wefts. Cutting your wefts can cause shedding. So if you want to avoid that, then don't cut your wefts. But me personally, I don't care. Once I've sewn in my first line, I'm gonna take my flat iron and just flat iron the hair. I'm gonna go ahead and take out that pin on the wig so it won't disturb me as I'm sewing, and I'm gonna continue on with that same track. I connect the track to the frontal, and then I start sewing along the same line that I did the previous track. Notice that there's a little space in between. I'm not just sewing them close together because I'm trying to get rid of space on that cap. This is still my first bundle, but I have 4 to 5 bundles that I'm putting into this wig. So if you have 3 bundles, you want to put more space in between these tracks so that you won't run out of hair before you get to the top. Proportioning your hair on your wig correctly takes learning experience and practice. It takes experience for you to predict how much hair you need where. So just take your time and make sure that you're not running out of hair or running out of space. One hack that I used to use when I first started making wigs was if I had 3 bundles, I would take a white makeup pencil and draw lines across the black cap where I wanted each bundle to stop so I can know how much hair to put where. I hope I explained that in a way you can visually picture it. But I don't need to do that anymore because I've been making so many wigs. I just know how much hair needs to go where. This is now my second bundle, the 26 inch, and I've made it up this far. I'm still following the same pattern line of just going back and forth across the wig from frontal to frontal, frontal to frontal. And of course, you're going to get the hang of going back and forth, but you're going to get to a point in your wig where you can't anymore because you don't want the wig to be bumpy or have hair vertically sewn on. You want it to be horizontal just like this so it can match up with the frontal when you're finished. So in order to find a way to transition from going in a smile line to a horizontal line, you're going to have to transition piece by piece. So I'm going to take a weft now. I'm going to connect it somewhere in the middle of my smile, like at the arch of my smile, at the slope of my smile. That's math. And I'm going to make sure there's a finger in between before I start sewing. My finger should be able to fit in between. Do not put the hair too far up where you can see through the hair and be seeing black cap. But you want to put it far up enough that it's not too close either. That's why I say use a finger, just to know that you're maintaining space. As you can see, it looks very seamless, and I was still able to maintain space in between the tracks. When I get to the other side where it starts curving upward again, I don't want to take the track upward. I want to cut it right there so that I'm not continuing to curve it up. Then I'm going to connect those two tracks together. It's not hard. I basically just sew it down to the cap, or you can connect the wefts. It doesn't really matter, just so everything can be flat. And guys, trust me, I understand this can seem very overwhelming, but you won't know until you try it, number one. And number two, keep in mind that this is not the only way to sew hair onto a wig, on a frontal, whatever. This is just my method, and I wouldn't be sharing it with y'all if I didn't think you could not do it. So at least try. When I made my first wig, I was terrified, but I've gotten so much better over time. Like, if you've been a subscriber for a while, you can go back to my old videos and look at my wigs. They looked nice and slayed, but it's not on the level that I'm at now, and I'm still improving more and more. I'm nowhere near being a professional. I'm not a stylist. I don't do hair for other people. I'm learning more and more about wigs, and I'm sharing my experience with you. I even watched my old video to do this video. And love, even when making this wig, I made so many mistakes that I could not put on camera just because I didn't want the video to be too long. But I ran out of hair at the top and I had to close it up and all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, the wig came out fine. And that's the crazy thing about wigs. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to do everything exactly like I do. It's going to come out right as long as there's hair everywhere on the cap. LOL, while I was doing all of that talking, I finished the wig. The last thing you need to do is cut off that extra piece of material and your wig will look like this. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the lace in the front of my wig. I didn't do anything special. I just literally cut the front lace off, trying to avoid cutting the baby hairs. And I put the wig on and it fit perfectly. I didn't need an elastic band because it's tight the first day. I'll probably put one on later, but it is now time to apply the wig, install it, lay the edges, style it, and get it ready to slay all day in part 4. LOL. Part 4 is where I lay the edges, style the hair, and I also show you how I keep it installed for days upon end. I go to sleep with it. I go out with it. I sweat with it. I cry with it. I get married with it. I'm just playing. When the screen goes black, you know I'm talking too much. But I hope this video helps you. I love you so much. I hope you had a happy holiday and God gave you whatever your heart desired. Okay? I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.